everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you are learning API automation or preparing for interviews, you are in the right place. Today, I will show you how to validate and retrieve response headers in an API using RestAssured, Java, TestNG, and Maven. We will also add proper setup and tear down methods to manage our test cycle. So first of all, we should make sure we have a Maven project ready and your pom.xml should include dependency for rest assured and TestNG. So I have already created one Maven project here and I can show you inside the pom.xml. I have already added the required dependencies for TestNG and rest assured. So for today's video, for today's session, we are going to learn how to retrieve and validate API response headers using rest assured with TestNG, Java, and Maven. And for this purpose, we are going to use this URL. I can show you. This is on this URL we have dummy API. So we are going to use for today's session this one. Okay. Right click, open a new link. So this is the URL we are going to use. The same URL as we have here. Okay. So first of all, what I can do, I am going to create one package here. Okay. So today we have session 5. So I am creating package with session 5 here. Okay. And inside this package, I am going to create one class to validate response headers. And I am simply clicking on finish button and it is created. Class is created. So inside this, as we are going to use setup and tear down also. So first of all, I am creating one setup method and we can mark it as before method annotation. Just hover on this import before method from TestNG. Okay, then we are also going to create one tear down method. So this should run after our test method. So I am going to annotate this method with after method annotation. Just hover on this and import after method from TestNG annotations. Okay. What next? Okay. So first what we need to do, we need to set up request specification. So what we will be doing, we will be sending one GET request and we will be retrieving response headers and we will be validating one response header. Okay. So So first of all, in setup, what we need to do, we need to set up request specification. So what we need to, let me write one print statement here. So setting up request specification. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are first of all, we are setting up request specification. Okay. And how we can do this? First of all, I would like to copy this URL because this URL we are using here, and we can paste here for our ready reference. So first of all, we need to configure request specification. So now we can achieve it. RestAssured dot given. So what it will return? It will return the request specification. Request specification. Okay. We can create reference here. REQ is SPEC. Just hover on this and we can import request specification from RestAssured specification. Okay, so with the help of this object, we can, this reference, what we can do, we can configure the base URI. So what will be the base URI here from this to? Okay, then we need to configure base path. Okay, so this is the base path. Okay, and what next? So yes, so that's it. So in setup method, we need to configure request. So we have set up request specification. What next? So what we are, and we also need to write one test method. So what we are going to do? We are going to validate single user. We are going to validate single user. Okay, so let me verify single user. Okay, so we need to annotate this method with test at the rate test annotation, so that it should be recognized by TestNG as test case. So just hover on this and import test from TestNG annotations. What next? What next we need to do? Okay. So here we need to set up, or we need to send get request. So what we need to do here, I'm just writing one print statement. What we are doing here, sending get request. Okay. So here we are sending get request. So how we send get request? REQ dot get. So because it's defined here locally, So we need to define it at global level, and we should also mark it as public. Okay. Now we can get here. And what it will return? It will return the response. So response RES. This is the object of response. We will store this response into RES. Just hover on this and import response from RestAssured response. Okay. And we can also declare it at global level. Okay. Of this response RES. So we can also mark it as public. Okay, so this can be accessible throughout the program. Okay, what next? So here response. Okay, we will be getting response and we are storing it into RES. So what next? So here we are going to print one header. Okay, so I can take you to the postman, and this is the same URL. Okay, I'm just clicking on send, and here we have, this is the body, this is the header. So let's say we are going to print this. Okay, this value we want to print. Okay, so how can we achieve it? Through rest assured. Okay, so here what we are going to do, we are going to print one header, printing one header. So how we can print it? So response dot get header. Okay, so here we can pass the header name. Let's go to the postman. So suppose we would like to print this. I'm just taking this and date. Okay. So what it will return? It will return the string. Okay. String uh, date header. Okay. So and we can print it here. Just like date header. Okay. So till now we are going to print only one header. That is the date header we are going to print. Okay. So and also we need to we need to clean up our code inside the tear down. So let's go here. So I can write one comment here for better understanding. So tearing down test. What is this? We are going to tear down the test. Tearing down the test. Okay. And how we can achieve it. Okay. So we can assign requirement specification null. Okay. and res response object to null. Okay, so we can also print one method here. Resources are cleaned up. Okay, so in this way we can achieve the tear down and we can clean the resources. Okay, so REQ SPEC is equal to null or RES is equal to null. So this helps garbage collection and avoids memory leaks in long running test suites. And we can extend this tear down logic in future to close files, to close DB connections, etc. Okay, so I think we are good till now. So let's execute it. So I'm just Control Shift F for formatting, Control S for saving. So let me execute this. Let me run this and let's see what it should do. It should it should print the one date header. And what should be the value? So we can go to the postman. This should be the value. Okay. So let's run it. Right click and run as TestNG test. Let's see what happens. What happened? Okay, so this is failed. Cannot invoke this request by you. Okay, let me review this code. Okay, okay. We need to remove it from here because we have declared it at global level, so we do not need it here. Okay, so let me rerun it. Let's see we are getting the expected output or not. Right click, run as TestNG test. So now it should print date. So setting up request specification, yes. Now it has successfully run. So setting up request specification, then sending get request, then this date header is printed, then tearing down the test, then resources are cleaned up. Okay. So now what next? What next we need to do? So how we can retrieve all the headers? Now we need to write the logic to print all the headers. So how we can achieve it? Okay. So printing all headers. So what we are doing? Print earlier we printed only one header. Now we are going to retrieve and we are going to print all headers. So how we can achieve it? So res dot get headers. Now we need to use this get header. So what it will return? It will return headers. Okay. So it will return headers. Okay. So here what we will be getting here headers list. Okay. And we can hover on this and we can import headers from RestAssured. So we have imported the required library. Okay, so what next? So how we can print it? How we can print it? So we can use for each loop. So what we can write here? Header, header, and we can pass this header list here. Okay. And just hover on this header and import header from RestAssured. Other things also there, but we need to import from RestAssured. Okay. Then we can print here. So let me take you to the postman. So headers are listed here as the key and value field. These are the key and these are the value. So likewise, we need to print our headers. Okay. So first we need to print the key. Okay. Dot get name and value. Okay. So first we need to print the name and then we need to print the dot get value. So name and value. Like this we can print all the headers. Okay. So for up till now we are good. So I'm just pressing Control Shift and F for formatting, Control S for saving, and I am going to rerun this code. Now it should print. First, it should print the one header, and then it should print all the headers in the form of name and value. Okay. So I am just going to run it. Right click, run as TestNG test. So let's see it is giving expected output or not. Yes, so our test case is passed. So, setting up request specification, sending get request, then this is one header is printed, and after that all the headers are printed. Okay, these are the headers we have printed. Date, content type, okay, transfer encoding. So all this we have printed. Now what next? Suppose we would like to validate any any one of these headers. So how we can achieve that? For that point of view, for that purpose, we can use TestNG, assert, and here we can pass, and we can do one more thing here for in a better way. Okay. So suppose we are going to validate this header content type. Okay. So how we can achieve it? So response object dot get header, and here we can pass the name of the header and what is the expected one. So we can take it expected one from here. Okay, this is the value. Okay, and we can also provide one message if this header content type doesn't match. So in that case, some message should be printed on the console. So we can write like this: header is not matching. Okay. Like this, we can write the message. So if it will match, so in that case, our test case will pass. So I am just saving this, and I am going to run this. Okay. So right click, run as TestNG test. So this time it should pass. Okay. So setting up request specification, then setting get request, then one header it has printed, then it has printed all the headers. Okay. And our validation is passed. Okay. Our validation is passed, which we have put the validation of content type header. If suppose if it is failed, so I am intentionally going to change the expected value, just adding one here, and I'm saving it, and I am going to rerun it. So in this case, it should fail. So I am going to fail it forcefully, and on the console, this message should be displayed. So right click, run as TestNG test. So let's see, it should fail now. Yeah, it has failed. Okay. Request specification, get request, then all one header printed, then all the header printed, then these all the header printed till here, then tearing down, done, resources are cleaned up. Then this is the our validation is failed. So header is not matching. Okay. So whatever message we have configured here, so this message is displayed here. Expected is this, but found is this. So in this way, we can uh, we can check the we can provide different checkpoints to validate different headers. Okay. So I am going to recorrect it. So and I'm saving it. I am rerunning it. Now it should pass. Right click, run as TestNG test. Now it should pass. Okay. So our test case is pass as expected. Okay. So now you can run this. We have already run this class as a TestNG test. Okay. And we have seen the printed headers and validation result in the console. And if content type doesn't match, so TestNG has, has already thrown an assertion error which we have already configured into our code. So today we have learned how to validate and retrieve HTTP response headers using RestAssured, structured with proper setup and tear down methods using TestNG. So this is very important for real-time API test automation, where you want to validate response metadata in addition to body. So if you found this helpful, Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more QA automation sessions or tutorials. Let me know in the comments if you have any query. And thanks for watching. Happy testing.